Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of Villa Park City Council. I hereby call the meeting to order. Steve, will you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Miles,
Present.
Councilman Jones,
Here.
Councilman McBride,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Freckleton,
Here.
Mayor Wu.
Here. All right, today I will ask our Chief Morgan Stern, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. The Villa Park City Council and staff welcome you to this meeting, and we encourage your participation. If you wish to address the City Council, please complete and submit a speaker card to the City Clerk. Speaker cards can be found at the entrance to the City Council chambers. Speaker will be called up individually during the public comment section of the meeting, or during the item they wish to speak on. Once the public comment period has concluded for an item, no additional speakers will be taken. Speakers will be limited to a time period of 5 minutes. Speakers will also be able to submit comments in writing by 3 p.m. today. Those comments will be placed in the official record. So actually, if you guys can give me 1 second, I think the students are outside, they just not in here yet.
Well, I'll just say for the record then, because I have to, that we did have closed session, but there's no reportable action out of that closed session. That is all. So put that in the minutes.
So please bear with them. We will need to bring out the podium, and the club president will make a presentation. You can invite all your members come inside.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dylan. I am the co-president of VSA at Villa Park.
My name is Matthew. I'm also the co-president at Villa Park's VSA.
Hi, my name is Evelyn Fan. I'm one of our secretaries at our club, and I've been a part of VSA for 2 years.
So this is our Villa Park's VSA for 2026, and
So basically who we are, what VSA stands for is Vietnamese Student Association. We are a diverse and student-driven community, and we are committed to celebrating Vietnamese culture, and we foster a sense of belonging to Villa Park campus. We are rooted in the Vietnamese heritage, and our club welcomes students from all backgrounds, so you don't have to be only Viet. And it's just for anyone who is interested in learning and connecting and engaging with our traditions. And we serve as a cultural home for those Vietnamese American youths, and we invite anyone to explore and find out their identity and build friendships, and we provide like a safe space for anyone to enjoy.
and our purpose is basically just to preserve and promote Vietnamese culture here at Villa Park, because as mostly first generation or second generation Vietnamese, our culture is it's being passed down from our parents to us, and we just want to make sure that it stays alive through the youth. And so we basically try to create opportunities for students to connect with our traditions by, so this year we started our fan dance, which is a traditional dance here, or for the Vietnamese. And we basically allowed, 15 girls to learn how to fan dance. And yeah, it's something new that we tried to do this year, and it's quite a cool thing.
So what we do is we organize with a bunch of other VSAs and other events like this. We were able to spread our culture to those that want to know more about it, especially like in an environment like this where not many people are familiar with our culture, and it's just a good way to spread around our traditions that might not be available in many areas. So our goal is to contribute to more events around the city. So we want to be able to spread VSA around more schools and more areas around Orange. And our goal is hoping to spread Vietnamese diversity within the youth, and for other VSA to do the same thing that we're doing as well. So the events that we usually do, our main one is Lion Dance, which you guys saw today, but we also do have a fan dance where you guys, on Saturday, this Saturday, you guys are able to come out and watch the fan dance that our 15 girls are gonna be performing. We also have performances at other schools and other areas, and we do also have events at the UVSA Tet Fest, which is the largest Vietnamese New Year celebration in Orange County.
Here's some pictures of our lion dance, and we've danced for some schools such as Lawara High School and Sergestrom, and it's a really wonderful way to find friendship and community in our culture and sharing that. And then this is our fan dance that we performed at school past Friday at Nutrition. And a lot of people came out to watch us, and we put a lot of effort into it and into preserving our culture. And yeah, I think it was really enjoyable. I can't read them. Thanks. Some of our past recognition is our City Hall performance from 2025. And, let's see on the right. Recognition from Congress.
So, for our City Hall performance in 2025, we received a recognition from Congresswoman Young Kim and State Assemblyman Philip Chen and California State Senator Stephen Choi. So those are pictures of our past performances. Aurora High School was one of our popular ones. That one was where a bunch of other VSAs, other high schools performed at, and it was really nice connecting with those students from other high schools that have like the same interests as us. Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here and show us a little bit your performance. And we are certainly looking forward to your performance this Saturday. Is it possible if we ask the council to take a photo with you as a group and also bring your lions out, especially just in case the audience didn't see or the residents watching it through the video, the two lions, they are all being performed by female students. So that's amazing to do. So if I could ask you to bring the lion in and that's be in the front and let's take some photo. And thank you so much for being here and speak in front of the council. I understand it's not easy, but you did it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, now I can't see Crystal. Perfect. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. We're good. Thank you.
I hope everyone enjoyed that quick performance and also listening to their club. So we have another organization that will come forward to share with us the good thing that they are doing for Villa Park.
Okay, my name is Jeffrey Wu, and I brought my 2 teachers. Okay, and first of all, I want to thank the mayor and the council inviting our association and school to here to present. And so this year, well, actually not, I shouldn't say this year, I've been the principal for past 10 years already, and I tried to get out the role, but I couldn't. So anyway, let's get to the next page. The North Orange County, the Cultural Association or the Chinese school actually was founded in 1983 by a group of the parents who are also the resident of the Villa Park and Orange. And the reason they do that is because they want to keep the identity or the culture aspect for their kids. And originally it was in one of the church nearby. It's very small, and then let me put it this way: first year was in a garage, one of the parents' garage, and then second they borrowed the church, and it's only about maybe 10, 20 students, maybe up to 30. But in 5 years, it exploded to about I would say 100. And so we started renting the Villa Park High School starting at that time. So we've been with the Villa Park High School with, I would say, about maybe 35 years up to today. And our student has been from 100 to 200 in between. And that's the, we're at about maybe like 10 classes, Saturday classes only. The Saturday classes actually been, like I say, I put it on there, it's for past 40 years. Actually, our first principal is also the Villa Park resident, and she actually still living here. And she actually, I think she worked at the Santiago College as also one of the instructors. So a very nice lady. And because the way we help out the community, so the city of Santa Ana, somehow they found us and they asked us to start a campus at the city area, and we do all the cultural aspect for them. And working with the Asian American Senior Centers at the Santa Ana City, actually we did for the past 4 years, we did the all New Year's whole setup for them at the city park with the Santa Ana City. Next page. All right, most of the students we have right here is from the Villa Park. The bulk of that is Orange, and also Yorba Linda and Placentia. That's the bulk of students. However, we also have students from Fullerton, Irvine, Santa Ana, even Huntington Beach as well. Because of the Orange Unified School District start to offer the emergent programs, so our students actually kind of decline. But at the same time, actually the school, I shouldn't say the school district, but some of the parents ask us to study a special program for them. So we have a special tutoring program for the Fletcher's Elementary Immersion Program, as well as for the Sierra Vera Junior High. And right now we even offer the AP classes, which is kind of, I would say, kind of famous for our area, because our teacher is actually one of the best in the Orange County. Okay. So quickly, then I'm just bringing the presentation to the end, but also I want to introduce my two teachers, okay? So it's Joyce. She's dressing in the Korean hanbok, right? So the Korean traditional style. And this is Jillian, and she dressed in the Chinese traditional qipao. All right, and I'm dressed in the old teacher, old scholar style, okay? Anyway, I really appreciate the partnership with the Villa Park Community Foundations. We've been working with them for the past 4 or 5 years, right? And to showcase the Lunar New Year at the final City Hall, which is actually make our students very exciting. Before we did our own showcase at the Villa Park High School to the parents, and it's just kind of internal. But with this to a public, I think it's really, the parents are happy, kids are happy, and actually they feel wonderful because they feel the city is, want them and talk to them. I remember, right, Crystal, remember when you were mayor? I think we did that, right? Appreciate it. Yeah, so anyway, so I guess you want to say something, right? How did you say something? Oh, you want to say something?
I can. We will also be performing this Saturday on behalf of City of Santa Ana, so hope you guys can come out and see our performance possibly, but just want to let you know, thank you for just inviting us and just letting us speak.
Oh, actually, they gonna perform the K-pop.
Yeah.
Okay, unbelievable. The one that's most famous right now is the
Golden by
the
Pop Demon Hunter.
Yeah, the Golden Hunter. So bring the kids or girls, whatever, just come out here because I have no idea. Originally, I have no idea what the heck is that, and I had to call my girl, which is college, which is friend with the and I called them, say, hey, what is a Demon Hunter? They were like, you don't know, you old man, get out. But actually, the way they perform is really good. So they've been asking by many community to perform with that. So, all right. So anyway, that's the end of my presentation. And happy, year of horse. This is the year of fire horse, which is supposed to be, horse, right? To be, advanced, running, right? And with the fire, actually bring you with the change. At the same time, actually, it will promote you as well. Okay. And good luck to the City Council, and good luck to everybody here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. If we could have a picture with you, with the council, please.
Okay.
Especially we gotta, definitely show off the outfits, the traditional outfit. So if you could just come forward.
Perfect.
Saturday, especially the K-pop, right? All right, so this Saturday we will see you. Thank you. Next up, we will have Orange County Animal Care.
To be clear, I do not have a song or dance for you tonight. I did provide some paper copies, just my eyesight's not super great, so I needed a paper copy. I'm gonna move this a little bit so it's a little less awkward. But I appreciate the council inviting us to speak tonight to share a lot of the good work we do for your community members here in Villa Park. So on the first slide is a really quick overview. We are the largest municipal shelter in the county. In calendar year 2025, we took in about 15,000 animals when you count all species. Of those, about 12,000 were dogs and cats, and 10,000 of those, a little over 10,000 dogs and cats, were reunited with their family, adopted to a home, or transferred to a partner in 2025. We continue to have a dog save rate over 90%. That is a goal called for in our strategic plan. It actually is at 94%, so we do exceed that goal each year. Moving into the next slide, a little overview of who we serve. Obviously, pet owners, that's what you normally think about, but also anyone interested in adoption. You don't have to live in a service city to adopt or foster with us or volunteer, so we have a lot of folks on our campus beyond our 14 contract cities. But of course, we also provide a substantial amount of services specifically to our contract cities. A lot of what we do on our campus is going to include veterinary services. Obviously, in taking that many animals, we have a full-fledged vet team that's there daily to provide the care for them. We also spay and neuter every dog, cat, and rabbit before they are adopted and go home with their family, because we don't need any more homeless pets than we already have. We have licensing services, so we conduct dog licensing for the city of Villa Park. Community outreach and education is a lot of what we focus on. That's the best way to fight pet overpopulation, but also education for kids and teaching kids how to be responsible pet owners as they grow into adulthood. We have shelter services, field operations, which is us physically in Villa Park when a resident calls for assistance. Emergency response, obviously customer service is a big part of what we do every day at the shelter. But also the things you don't think about, like facilities support to maintain our 10-acre campus, business support services, and really a lot of what our job ends up being is connecting people with resources. We are just one part of a really robust animal welfare community in Orange County. So going into the next slide, obviously 10-acre campus, Villa Park was one of 14 cities that invested to building the new campus in Tustin as it sits today. I think a couple of you have been out for tours and have seen it firsthand. Prior to that, we were in a much older facility in the city of Orange. So we moved into this campus in 2018. We are open daily, 7 days a week for adoptions, to pay your pet license in person because not everybody wants to pay it online or mail in a check, to come in to meet with an officer if you have a pending case going on, to redeem your pet. You know, Gardner leaves the gate open. It happens. 1 in 3 pets will get lost at some point in their lifetime. So a lot of what we do is focused on just reuniting pets back with their family first and foremost. We have intentional designated animal pathways on our campus, so it's a much different feel and design from our old facility. And we feature things like play yards for our dogs, walking paths for volunteers to exercise our dogs out of kennel, even grooming space. We have the ability also to house animals you might not think about, like reptiles, rabbits, the third most commonly adopted pet in Orange County, but also livestock, that random baby goat that might be running in the mean streets of Anaheim, we're who they call. So moving into some of our programming over the last few years, we've expanded adoption access. We moved, thanks to a board directive in July of last year, we moved to our adoption hours are now for open walkthroughs. They start at 11 a.m. and run through 5 p.m., and that's daily. So that is a little bit unique to Orange County Animal Care. There are a lot of shelters who opt to close 1 or 2 days a week, but for us, we're open 7 days a week for accessibility. The reason our staff gets there at 7:30, the reason we don't open at 7:30 for walkthroughs is, as you can imagine, we're cleaning up after anywhere from 350 to 750 animals, depending on what season it is, and it's a lot of messy work. And we're mopping floors and deep cleaning kennels. Everybody gets fed breakfast, and then we open for the public to start walking through. Community feedback has been really positive following the increase in walkthrough hours and that access. Our save rate for dogs maintained at 94% when we look at calendar year 2024 and calendar year 2025. So that is a positive as well. And then all of our adoption information, including daily hours of operation, how people can adopt from us, it's all available on our website and accessible as well. Play yard upgrades, I think this one has been of interest to some folks. So in partnership with OC Waste and Recycling, we introduced a high-quality ground cover in 2025. The reality is I have anywhere from 180 to 225 dogs on average on my campus every single day. And so getting grass to grow in my play yards when all those dogs are trampling on it every single day, day in and day out. If you have 1 or 2 dogs in your backyard running around, you know how difficult it would be to actually get grass to grow and sustain in that environment. They're very high use. So we did a lot of research. We ended up going with the organic material provided to us from OC Waste and Recycling for a variety of reasons. The biggest one being that it doesn't retain heat the same way some substrates would, like a pea gravel or even a DG like a deconstructed granite that some folks use, or even switching to concrete like we've seen some shelters do. So this product, it doesn't retain heat. It absorbs water a little bit better whenever it rains. So much like any other dog park, if it rains for 3 days straight in Southern California, you still have to close it down because there's only so much water we can handle here. But for the most part, this has been really great progress for our play yards. The dogs love it because it has like a little bit of a bouncier texture than just plain ground. At the same time, we also installed quite a bit of agility equipment. But I will like to preface that by saying none of my dogs are Olympians. I know it's that season and everybody's watching the Olympics, but in fairness, they kind of hang out, like they'll climb up the ramp and then hang out and just look at everything from that high level, but they're not really super great at tricks. But the great news was the agility equipment we were able to buy through donation funds, so it wasn't at an extra cost to the cities. We used our donation fund for that. And the OC Waste and Recycling material is actually free of charge to us at the county. So some cost-saving measures in how we were able to implement these upgrades last year. We also put out a huge FAQ sheet because we thought there would be some interest from folks of like, what do you mean it's organic ground cover? What does that mean? Where do you get it? And so it's literally green waste coming from all over the county that is, they can really explain it better than I can at Waste and Recycling. But essentially it takes about 4 to 5 months and it's certified safe to be used around pets, kids, families, etc. So much the same product you would see in parks or open dog parks to the public. Some additional recent pilot programs you might have on your radar. Thanks to a grant from Cal for All Animals, we are able to provide virtual dog training to all dog adopters currently, as a way to give them access to tools they need to help that dog successfully transition into a home, and give them tips on if they're struggling with how to train that dog to walk on a leash well or sit for a treat. They have access to virtual training tools for a month post-adoption. The idea behind that is just hoping that it decreases dogs being returned for just simple behavior issues. In addition to that, in 2025, we had a pilot project providing quarterly on-campus adoption events, and we transitioned to that permanent programming in 2026 with dates in March, August, October, and December pre-planned, and then we have a bonus event in June as well with a really large statewide sponsor. In addition, in 2024, we had a pilot project providing a free microchip for pet owners in our service cities who can bring up to 2 pets per event. We transitioned that into permanent programming in 2025, and our 2026 date for the event this year is May 2nd, so it's a Saturday. Hopefully make it easy for folks to stop by. And then coming in March, our next pilot project we're set to announce will be a Dogs Day Out field trip style pilot project. We see a lot of shelters having success with this, most notably the Humane Society in Hawaii, the Arizona Humane Society, some municipal shelters throughout California, essentially where both public and volunteers can sign up to take a dog on a mini adventure or a mini field trip. For the pilot project, we plan to host it Thursday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to noon. The reason being, noon starts to get into peak adoption hours at the shelter, and we don't want the dogs to miss their chance of being seen by adopters. But we love the idea of them getting outside of the shelter for a morning, getting to go to places like a dog-friendly county park to go for a mini hike with a member of the public. They have these cute little bright orange, Please Adopt Me OC Animal Care vests that they'll wear. So anybody they encounter in the community will also know that they're available for adoption. And then when we get into in the field, we have over 45 positions dedicated solely to public safety through our field division. We're out in the community every day 24/7. We run a graveyard shift officer position as well, which is a bit unique to OC Animal Care. We actually have somebody physically working that shift each night for overnight response. Primarily, our responses are going to be priority calls to support law enforcement and fire department. But we will also respond if it's a community member who's calling about an injured animal. So if they call at 2 a.m., saw a dog that's limping, I think they've been hit by a car, that would be considered a priority call because that animal is injured and in need right then. That's the things you think about stray animal pickup. If a member from the community calls in a report of an animal, vicious dog investigations, bite case investigations, if a member of the public is bitten, hospitals are mandatory reporters. So we investigate each one of those bites and work with OC County Health and the public health officer to support that individual who may have been bitten. A lot of people think of dogs when you think of a bite to a human. But the actual #1 rabies vector animal in the county of Orange is bats. And they have really tiny teeth. So we do a lot of support for community members related to rabies control as public safety and public health. And then, of course, when you think about those cases you see on TV, right, the big hoarding cases, or somebody being attacked by an animal, or somebody neglecting their animal, we would dispatch an officer, or we will support law enforcement if they come across the case first and are serving a warrant. And then, of course, we also provide business licensing and permitting, as well as site visits to those businesses if there are any complaints that come through. And then when you get into what you think is our on-campus care, we obviously would provide that clinic I spoke about. We provide shelter and customer service and outreach. But in addition, we have daily on-site support from veterinarians, licensed veterinarians. We have a chief veterinarian and 3 full-time vets so that we have 7-day-a-week coverage. And then in addition to that, they have the support of registered veterinary technicians and vet tech assistants. It's a very specific role on our campus. In addition to that, we have a shelter team that's led by a certified dog training professional and a second certified dog training professional who assists him with all of the evaluations of animals on our campus to make sure that they are safe to adopt out to our community members, and to also provide tailored enrichment plans for each animal to make sure we're meeting their individual needs. We also have committed ourselves to positive outcomes as evidenced by our strong dog save rate. The counseling and education that we do is really intended to support folks as they adopt and bring a new pet into their home as well. And then with some of our animal programming you might be familiar with that goes a little beyond what's required. We have a TLC program that is really geared towards volunteers receiving extra training and staff working individually with pets who just need a little bit more time to adjust to the shelter. Maybe they're a little shy or fearful when they first arrive. They get a tailored plan and folks working with them daily to help bring them out of their shell. We have a bottle-fed kitten program, rescue partner program, because some animals come to our campus and they're in need of long-term additional care beyond what the shelter can provide. We have over 200 wonderful partners, not just in Orange County, but across the state and really even across the nation who help us with animals in need. We have a robust foster program, especially for underage kittens. But we even have a staycation program where dogs who've been with us for an extended period of time can go to a foster for a 2-week staycation or break from the shelter. And then we have a foster to adopt program for those folks who are interested in adopting a dog, but maybe they're just on the fence and don't know if it's quite the right fit, where they can take a dog home for 2 weeks on a trial period, and over 50% of those folks end up transitioning into a permanent adoption. And so quickly, some community programs. We have a monthly adoption promotion to help some of our medium and larger sized dogs. About 99 to 95% of the dogs on our campus available for adoption are over 25 pounds. But Orange County has a huge rental area, and most folks have weight limits and breed restrictions in place. So it's a little hard to place some of our medium and larger sized dogs especially. We offer those quarterly events. But in addition to that, we host 3 low-cost vaccination and wellness clinics on our campus through partnerships with Heart, a nonprofit, as well as Vet Care out of Garden Grove. So there's a central location for pet owners in Orange County to come to get access to low-cost services for their owned pets. And then in addition to that, we have a Family First drive-through pet pantry. We operate this off of donations. So any resident in Villa Park who needs assistance with pet food that month can come to our pantry and get it for free. The idea being if we can give somebody a bag of food to keep that pet at home with their family, that's a win-win for that pet and it's a win-win for the shelter, but it's the biggest win for that animal not ending up in the shelter because they couldn't afford to feed them. We have through the Pets for Vets Act, we're able to provide free pet adoptions for our veterans on our campus. We have a huge toolkit that we have shared to everyone, and we encourage everyone else to help us amplify that message. In addition, we have discounted adoptions if a veteran didn't qualify under the Free Pets for Vet Act, as well as discounted adoptions for our older adults in the community. We also offer discounted licensing fees for veterans and older adults. So their pet license is discounted to $14 per year. And then lastly, how can the community help? And that's some of the ways you're probably thinking already. First and foremost, you can adopt, you can sign up to volunteer, you can become a foster, you can be a fundraising partner for some of our activities like our pet pantry. We have a lot of high school groups that come and support and get their community service hours by signing up to work the pet pantry. And with that, I know I tried to go kind of fast because I had a lot of information to share, but I will end my presentation, and if anybody has any questions for me.
Do you have any tortoise for our Mayor Pro Tem to adopt? Any questions? Go ahead.
Thank you so much for this presentation. I know we get a lot of communication from the community and there's a lot of misinformation out there. And so I really appreciate you coming and presenting these numbers and giving information on the programs. And I'm glad that the hours have expanded so much over what we had experienced during COVID, because I know that was a big criticism. And so I'm really happy to see that the shelter has opened up, these walkthrough hours. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anybody else? All right. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your time. Next up, our soon retired librarian.
Thank you for having me here tonight. Wanted to talk about some special programs we are having coming up. On Wednesday, March 11th at 3:30 p.m., we're doing Mail a Hug. And the kids will come in and they're going to lay on the floor in here and we're going to trace them. And they are going to make, I can't hold it all. They're going to make themselves and they're going to be able to fold it up. We'll give them an envelope and they can mail this hug to someone they love that isn't close enough to them physically to give them a real hug. So we're excited for this. Then on Wednesday, March 18th, at the same time at 3:30, we're having an origami program. And we also have on Saturday, March 21st at 2 p.m., we are having a program for adults and teens, and we're making sun catchers. March is also Kindergarten Readiness Month, and our library system likes to call it Kinderpalooza. And we're going to have a couple special programs that month, and our system is having a lot of special programs, including an author that's going to talk about children on the spectrum and what we can do to support them and ensure success for them. We are having, through our library system on March 13th, a really big author, Marcus Zusak, who wrote The Book Thief, and he's going to be at one of our branches. It'll probably be very heavily attended. Very happy to see that, and I think I'm going to that event. And I did send out a report. We have lots of things coming up, lots coming up in April as well, and we'll be posting those on our website and sharing all of that with the City Council and also the city staff. And that's what I had for my report. If I could mention something else, it's been a sheer pleasure for me working at Villa Park Library. You're all so supportive of the services, of the community, and it makes my job so easy, and it's really been quite a pleasure. I'd like to thank the city staff and City Council and all the residents of Villa Park. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your service for our wonderful Villa Park Library, and enjoy your retirement. Anyone else would like to share kind words?
Christine, it's been an honor for me to get to know you over the last year, and the Friends of the Villa Park Library are a great group, but your passion and your professionalism is exemplary, and I know we're going to miss you. And I can only hope that we get somebody with a percentage of what you've brought to Villa Park, so thank you again. You've done a great job.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Want to say I've loved getting to know you as well, and thank you for sharing the recipes with me. So biggest question, I think, is what's the first book you're going to read on your retirement?
There is a book that's been on many of the best books of the year lists. It's called The Director, and it's by a German author. It was translated into English. I cannot remember his name. But I just saw something else about it today, and I said, that's the next book I'm reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Thank you.
Good luck in your retirement. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have the Sheriff Department.
Those are some tough presentations to follow tonight. Good evening, council members and mayor. This summary of incidents is from January 26th to February 17th. We had 196 total incidents, 11 total reports taken, 2 were crimes against persons, and 7 were crimes against property or society. No traffic accidents, 33 moving citations, and 2 parking citations. The crimes against persons summaries, one was a robbery, one was an assault. The robbery especially involved juveniles and is an ongoing investigation, so can't comment too much on that. The crimes against property and society, you had possession of a cane sword. That was actually the result of a traffic stop again. Our deputies being out there, being proactive, and finding people to pull over and arresting them for those things. We had 1 DUI, 2 thefts of credit card fraud, 1 theft from commercial property, and 2 thefts from vehicle burglary. Or I'm sorry, they were 2 vehicle burglaries. Those, I believe, both were forced entry in the vehicle. So just a reminder to everybody, although you may lock your doors on your vehicles or, park them in well-lit areas, you still have to, don't keep anything of value inside your vehicles, tools, purses, cash, electronics, anything like that, because those are crimes of opportunity, and people will take those opportunities if they see it.
Okay, we have a question or comment.
I would just like to thank you and our school resource officer, Adriana Vasquez, for meeting with Councilwoman Miles and I regarding our e-bike ordinance. We were interested in following up, and a great thing that came out of that presentation, just for our residents to know, is that you developed a brochure. That's a tool now. We can pass it out at our education efforts, or if you happen to pull over a biker who maybe hasn't been displaying the best behavior, just to educate them, since education is a big part of, our efforts here regarding e-bikes. And so I really would just like to thank you for that and put it out there for our residents so that they know about it as well. But thank you so much for developing that tool. We really appreciate it.
No, and I appreciate your guys' help with that. We're going to get it out very soon. Again, it's a tool just to be able to, especially with the parents, pass it out to them and educate them so they know the ordinances, the laws, and just, the ways they can keep their kids or the neighborhood kids, the community safe in general.
Thank you for that. Any other comments? Are you able to share with us on, I think last Friday, the student walkout? Was it safe? No incidents?
Yeah, so no reported incidents from that. Everybody seemed to be, in an orderly manner, walking on the sidewalk. We had some people standing by just to make sure that everybody was safe in the area. But yeah, other than that, no reported incidents from that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate your report. All right, the next person up, OCFA Chief.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. So for the report out on this session, it goes from January 27th into February 23rd. In the city of Villa Park, we had 44 calls of service, 16 medical aids, and 28 other miscellaneous odor check, hazardous conditions, alarms, public service calls within the city of Villa Park. On May 18th, your fire engine 23 visited Serrano Elementary School with our community educator, and talked fire safety and showed them the fire engine to all the little boys and girls that were running around. It's always a treat for us to go out to the schools. Our firemen truly love that piece of it. It's a chance to engage with not only the students, but the parents and the teachers there, and to drive home the fire safety aspect of it, and getting the kids to understand that sometimes their parents will tell them and they won't listen to. If you have any children of your own, right? Usually a third or outside source usually hits that home. So we like to provide that piece of it to our communities, and especially going to schools. It just makes our firemen happy. I'd like to bring up is that this year, 2026, of our Orange County Fire Authority open house. And that'll be taking place on March 14th at our headquarters, which is off Jamboree in the city of Irvine. The hours are from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and we wish all the public to attend, to check out, to come see the equipment, the men and women that serve in your communities daily. From our bulldozers that work in the wildland arenas, to our hazardous materials units, to our heavy rescue, and even our helicopter will be there. Not the Hawk, unfortunately, doesn't quite fit. But we'll have the Bell 412 sitting out there for people to come around and look at and think. There's games, there's puzzles, there's antique fire engine rides, there's plenty of demonstrations, cutting open cars. We have firefighting demonstrations. We even our USAR K-9 do a search demonstration. So we encourage the public to come in, visit your firefighters, talk with them. We also have other entities from around the county that are part of the educational piece of this event. For our safety message for the month, it is get out. Get out of your home. Have a home escape plan. Every 24 seconds, a fire department in the United States responds to a fire somewhere in the nation. Fire occurs at a rate of every 63 seconds. A home fire occurs every 87 seconds, and when there's a fire, a second counts. Although fire experts agree that people have as little as 2 minutes to get out of a fire before the toxic fumes and the smoke gets to them, at least 62% of Americans believe they have 5 minutes, and 18% of Americans believe they have 10 minutes or more to get out of their home, which is not good. So we want people to understand to get out of their homes, develop a plan. Parents, have conversations with your children. If you have elderly, if you have disabled family members, if you have people that are visiting you from other areas, whether it's from this country or another country, have them understand your exit plan to get out of your home, right? Have a meeting place. Ensure if everybody's home is like mine, there's some kind of clutter somewhere in the home because we all have busy lives. We all do things, whether it's work, family events, or extracurricular activities, whether it's sports or whatever with your children, is you have things laying around. Ensure that your fire exits and that your pathways out are clear and clutter-free. So in the middle of the night at 3 a.m., you have a clutter-free exit to get out of your home in a safe and timely manner, and you could assist others getting out of your home as well. Just as a matter of fact, as we talked about, smoke does rise, right? So you want to stay low, you want to crawl. It goes back to the stop, drop, and roll analogy, right, of going back in the day of our grade school when the fire engine came around and said stop, drop, and roll. Yes, to put the fire out, but it's also to stay low. Stay low, crawl out, get to the nearest exit to the window, institute your fire plan, and then ensure that someone in your family, if not you, is calling 911 for rapid response by us and the Sheriff's Department to assist in getting other family members out if need be. One thing I do want to mention when it comes to home fires, we are seeing a drastic increase of home fires starting from EVs. Just about every community and every neighborhood has at least one EV, if not multiple in the homes. So with that percentage going up drastically yearly, and the statistics have shown it from the State Fire Marshal's Office and our own statistics within Orange County, is if you don't normally keep your garage door closed, your man door that goes to your garage, that is a fire-rated door, okay? That door is rated to make sure that that fire stays in the box. Your garage is designed to hold fire, okay? Yes, everything's gonna burn up inside there, I get it, but it's not gonna come out into your home. So please ensure that you keep your door closed to your garage. And now more than ever, State Fire Marshal has never really pushed this before until the EVs, we were having a lot of EVs catch fires inside of the garages, is mount a smoke alarm in your garage. Because you'll be able to hear it. In the dead of night, your house is quiet, like a mouse, right? What's the old Saint Nick, right? As he comes through, right? So you'll hear that buzzing, or at least it'll pique your going, do I hear something? And that'll cause you to be able to get out of the home in a safe manner. It'll keep that door closed, and then get everybody out and safely. So we are seeing an increase of that, and we just recommend if you don't have to charge your vehicle at night inside your garage, we recommend that you don't. Charge it during the daylight hours, charge it when you're awake, watching TV, having dinner, let it go through its cycle, and then before you go to bed, just unplug it, right? It's the safest way to hopefully ensure that your EV charger or the battery within the car doesn't continue to have a runoff. Thank you. Thank you.
Now we will move into our agendized public hearing. Our first, oops. I'm so sorry, I jumped ahead. Thank you. At this time, we will hear comments from members of the public to address any off-agenda items within the subject matters jurisdiction of the council, provided that no action may be taken on off-agenda items unless authorized by law. We will also be hearing public comments on each agenda item. Steve, is there anyone that is present or wrote in from the public that would like to comment on an off-agenda item?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Now I'm on the right track. Now we will move into our agenda, that is public hearings. Our first hearing is to waive reading in full of 4 ordinances and resolutions on the agenda. I will now open the hearing. Staff, please give the staff report.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the item we have every month to provide for efficient and effective city council meetings, and we'd recommend approval.
Council, do you have any question of staff?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, let's vote.
Passes by a 5-0 vote. Thank you.
Now we will consider our consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are considered routine and are usually enacted by one motion approving the recommended action listed on the agenda. Any member of the city council, staff, or the public may request an item be removed from the consent calendar for discussion or separate actions. Council members, are there any items from number 3 to 5 that you would like to remove from the consent calendar?
I believe it's 3 to 8.
3 to 8. Sorry. Okay, seeing none, do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
Second.
Let's vote.
Passes by a 5-0 vote. Thank you.
Our first item of new business is approval of the WISE agreement with the County of Orange. Staff, please give the staff report.
Thank you, Mayor. Alyssa will be giving the presentation here, and then now both of us will be available afterwards to answer questions.
Thank you, Steve. So the WISE agreement is going to be the new agreement that is taking over for the waste disposal agreement that you guys approved last year, just a 1-year extension. So the WISE stands for Waste Infrastructure System Enterprise, and that is for our solid waste disposal at the county landfills. And the new WISE agreement was negotiated by the Orange County City Managers Association to address the rising operational, regulatory, and capital costs, including the closure of the Brea Linda landfill and the expansion near San Juan Capistrano. Our current contract rate with the WDA is $43.76. For the new WISE agreement, the county initially proposed last year $82 in the first year, but after several months of negotiation, it has resulted in, for this coming fiscal year, 26-27, $67 a ton, 27-28, $74 a ton, and then in 28-29, $81. And then in years 29-30, $81 a ton with also CPI. But the CPI, to note, will be a blended CPI index. So 60% of it will be based off of the solid waste, water, and sewer index, and 40% will be our typical all urban consumers CPI index. So it's not just all one. Originally, the county wanted to have 100% under the solid waste, water, and sewer index. And that could be how the county has their contracts, but our Republic Services contract and also other cities, their contracts are just typical CPI. So the cities must adopt this agreement by April 30th, 2026 to avoid paying the standard gate rate. And it is a 10-year contract that will be up then June 30th, 2036 with an optional 10-year extension. This WISE agreement was approved by a 5-0 vote by the Board of Supervisors this past January 27th of 2026. And we, as a city, want to highlight that this is a pass-through fee and not a Republic Services fee. This has nothing to do with the standard 5% fee that comes every July 1st that you residents will see an increase on their bill. However, this year it is going, and the following years you are going to have a bigger increase every year. So, yes, that is everything with this agreement. So, any questions that people have and need a breakdown of their bill, they certainly can contact Republic and have it separated, like how much was the increase for this year, and then the WISE now agreement increase.
So this is really important to note that the city had no involvement in deciding that the rates are increased. So nothing the city is doing is causing this increase. This has to do with the amount that the trucks basically going to landfills and dropping off, their loads. The Board of Supervisors approved this. This is a substantial increase. The cities fought it, all collectively. Every city has to do it. 50% of the cities have to approve this for it to go into effect. So every city is up for the same issue. I would comment that the rate will go directly they'll see it. I'm sorry, the residents will see the rate increase in their trash bill from Republic, but it is not reflective of something Republic has done. So the hauler has not done this. It is the County of Orange. So concerns like Alyssa said should go directly to the county. They're the ones with the capital improvements. But it will be a hefty increase because the tonnage, as you can imagine, it's pretty close to double on a rough estimate of the increase that they're going to be seeing on their bills with that regard. And it is something that we certainly can answer the questions as best we can, but I can't answer why and what the capital improvements the county is doing with their landfills. So it's important to note that that's going to be a big increase and people are going to see it. We'll try and do the best we can if you want to call us, but we're going to have to defer a lot of those questions over to the county. They approved it and it's they generated it. I would also like to commend, this is a year in the making. I know Alyssa has spent a great deal of time working on the committee that negotiated this. The original rate, I think, was just going to be a flat, just jump 1 year. So I think this is a step increase, but it's still going to hurt. So, and residents are still going to feel it. So I want to make sure that people understand that this council had no vote in it. We didn't create it. No, the city staff didn't create it. We negotiated downward as best we can. So I would leave it at that, and we're open to answering questions.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you for the clarification that this wasn't something Republic put through. But so here's my question. I think you said 50% of the cities have to pass it. So what happens if we say no?
If we say no, they charge us a daily rate, which is higher. So they control basically.
Yeah, we're not locked into
We're not locked into any rate. It's just whatever they're going to charge us, and they can go back to the original rate of $82.
They being
the county.
Yes.
So, but the county wouldn't charge us directly. It's going through Republic.
But it would charge, Republic would in turn charge the customers. So it's a pass-through. The only reason Republic is involved is because they bill for the hauling. So it's not something that they're generating. They just process it. So it's the cost they end up having to bear, et cetera.
Have all the other cities so far passed this?
We're the first city going forward on it. I mean, the reality is, and most cities have recognized, we had this city manager discussion. The option is transporting your trash out to San Bernardino, which you can only imagine how much more expensive that would be to have trucks going out there and shifts going out there. So this is you're sort of locked into this, if you will. There's not a lot of options. We only have 2 landfills now. We'll only have 2 when Brea
Brea's
closes.
going to close, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have 2 landfills. So, and they're in Orange County, so it's still very limited options.
Well, and it was my understanding a year ago that we were facing a very steep increase. And so this has now been negotiated down.
Yeah, originally it was the $82 right away.
Exactly. So this is actually a better deal
Right.
than what we were initially.
Right. So it's
presented
negotiated.
with,
And the
so-
county was I think, and I'll be very candid, we started when the negotiations, and Alyssa will attest to this, the negotiations started when they approached the county. The county says, that's the deal, take it or leave it. So I think that year was a productive year, but it wasn't as if we had a willing negotiating partner. And I'll be very candid about that. I think that's fair to say.
No, so thank you for that.
Basically, this is vendor independent, right? I mean, it's going to be hidden in Republic's fees anyway, And if we were to go to CCNR or CRNR and anybody else, they're going to carry the same number.
Waste management, CR&R, all of the
Yeah.
haulers are subject to the same exact fee. This is a hauling fee, or dump fee, basically, your tipping
Right.
fee, I guess they call it, right?
Yeah. So as you all know, we have a franchise agreement with Republic to provide solid waste services. There's a clause in that agreement that basically says if these tipping fees, dumping in the dump, go up, they're allowed to charge that extra cost directly to the resident.
And all of the agreements for the cities have the same agreement. So, if you live in Orange, you're not going to get a better deal than if you live in Villa Park on something like this.
Council, any other questions? Is this increase going to be monthly increase or is annual? I mean, on the residents' bill.
Residents are billed quarterly in Villa Park.
Okay.
It varies by city, whatever their hauler does. So
But
ours
we're
are
billed
billed
quarterly
quarterly.
in Villa Park.
So let me rephrase my question. This upcoming year, is it quarterly that it will be increased $67 quarterly, or is it $67 divided into 4?
It'll be
quarters?
$67. The rate instead of 40 some odd dollars will go to 67, and that'll be applied annually. And then it goes up the year after, and it goes up the year after. So that'll be incorporated to each bill, right, that you're charged. So each quarter, you're going to see that increase.
It will be a calculation on our rate sheet that we'll get closer to July 1st when it starts.
So it's 67 divided by 4.
It's not gonna, it'll be a calculation on the total rate sheet. So you're not gonna see a total increase of that much on your bill. You're only gonna see an increase of a few dollars, but we haven't gotten our updated rates from Republic Services
So the
yet.
67 is applied to the full year.
Yeah, but that's to dump
Just
a
to-
ton.
Yes.
at
Yeah.
that. So that's not $67 to
Straight to-
Crystal Miles,
yes.
Yeah, it's a tonnage.
So then they have to, like Alyssa's saying, calculate it and it's going to be a couple bucks, right?
It'll be, it'll be a few dollars. I don't have the exact dollar amount.
But I think
It'll
they
go
were
up.
saying for every city, it'd be close to under $5.
Yeah, it would be under that.
Well, and
But it all, sorry.
The
sorry.
estimation was 10% that you had in
Yeah.
here per resident on their bills.
I mean,
Yes.
it's going to be noticeable. Let's just say that. It's going to be noticeable.
It will be noticeable. It'll also be noticeable because it's hitting at the same exact time as our typical 5%. About 5% fee happens July 1st, and it also varies based off of how many bins people have. Villa Park, it's very typical. People have more green waste bins because people's yard sizes, they might not have more than one bin. So just so people are aware.
Thank you for that detailed information. Any other question from the council? Okay. Do I hear any motions?
I will move it.
Second.
Okay, let's vote.
Passes by a 4-1 vote with Councilwoman Miles opposing.
Okay, thank you. Our next item of new business is the approval of the amended and restated MPDES Stormwater Permit Implementation Agreement. Staff, please give the staff report.
Thank you, Mayor. The city's is a permittee under the municipal separate storm system sewer system, MS4 permits issued by the California Regional Water Quality Boards, San Diego and Santa Ana regions. The original agreement was issued in 1990, amended in 93, and again in 2002. Basically, it's a framework for implementing the storm work. It's a regional framework. The county acts as the administrator of the regional framework. The responsibilities of the permittee include compliance reporting, monitoring, implementation. Then they engage, the regional body engages OC, the City Managers Association, for input. They provide review process for, et cetera. And then they do this agreement continues the existing cost-sharing agreement. And this is an amended agreement for us that will then get filed accordingly. So we would recommend approval. This is a process that's been in place, again, for a long time, and we're continuing the process.
Thank you. Any question of the staff on council? No? Okay. Steve, is there anyone who is present or wrote in from the public that would like to comment on this item?
No, Mayor.
Okay, then do I hear any motion?
I'll move it.
Second?
Okay, let's vote.
Passes by a vote of 5-0.
Okay, now we will discuss the manager report. Steve?
Thank you. Probably the big thing that we've talked about in the last month, and we advised people that the Mayberry project will be starting soon. They are still working through permitting, et cetera, with the City of Orange and with us. But the trucks should be going, we're expecting within the next 2 weeks, they'll start. In the meantime, we are contracting with a crossing guard, and we have been able to move forward on that. The school district called me yesterday to confirm that we were doing that, and I affirmatively answered. We have received payments in all but one issue that we're still dealing with, but unfortunately, the residents can start expecting traffics on Monday through Friday from, I believe it's 8 to 3. And it's a significant amount of truck traffic that'll be on Villa Park Road. And if there are issues, and we'll put something on our feeder, if there are any issues about trucks dropping things or people complaining about things, there's an app that City of Orange has created that we'll be working with the hauler to work through. So we'll make sure that that number is available and they can get it on their app as well. They also will be street sweeping every day on Villa Park Road. So if there are, we'll be working with the sheriff to make sure that there's compliance on all those issues. But I just wanted to report that to the residents need to be aware that within the next couple of weeks, they're going to start seeing some heavy traffic there from the trucks. And these are the big trucks that are 16-wheelers or whatever they are. Anyway, so that, I wanted to state that's out there. So just, otherwise, I'm available for any questions.
Steve, could you review for the benefit of the residents how the trucks are supposed to be going through? The loads are either supposed to be covered or they're supposed to be wet down. There shouldn't be a lot of debris and dust flying off these
There should
trucks.
not be any debris. They're covered. They're supposed to be obviously traveling with the speed limits. They're not driving agents. They'll have to be carrying permits. We will have motor sheriff out there checking to make sure all things are done. But they are supposed to have street monitors out there to check to make sure there are no problems. Trucks are supposed to be compliant with covering any loads, so there's no stuff flying off, if you will. And if there are problems, they need to report that immediately, and that's what the app is for. We want to make sure that our roads are no less safe than they are now as a result of this as best we can. But you're right that the sheriff will be out there looking to make sure that trucks going by are covered and loads are carried appropriately and not overburdened, if you will, because obviously there's incentive if they can do this quicker and they get more in their trucks and they're carrying extra loads, then that's going to be a problem too. So there's a height limitation on how high they can go with the loads, et cetera. So I think those will be the kinds of things. If there's any question at all, please contact City Hall or, any concerns, contact us, and we'll make sure the sheriff is out there following up on this. So again, it's, I'm not an expert on all the types of safety measures, but I know they have certain kinds of provisions and requirements for hauling truck traffic.
Thank you.
We got a bit blindsided on this project, the 22 homes, but we know now that there's going to be another 30 homes where the arena and the fruit stand is on Sonego Canyon Road, east of Cannon. And we also know that there's going to be lots and lots of trucks that are going to be hauling the environmentally questionable, thank you, piles of dirt that are on the Sully Miller property. Have we know those things are going to happen. Are we in a position where we're finally going to proactively have a conversation with everybody, all the different players, City of Orange?
We have
DR
reached out
Horton,
to the
and
City
so
of
forth.
Orange, and I was told that they would reach back out, but I have not heard from them yet. I'm hoping that they do. I have had a contact from the developer who said they would like to meet with us. Now, that's a further down the road, so I'm not expecting them to meet with me the next day or two, but I think they've indicated that they want to meet and talk because there's a lot more involved, and that will be more than 30 trucks a day. That will be a more significant issue and a longer time period because for those who aren't familiar, the Sully Miller property will be turned into open space. To make that safe open space, you have to clean it up. and there's a lot of mitigation issues that they're going to have to transport and things like that. So
They're talking like 2 years worth of truck traffic
I've
every
heard
day.
longer than that even. So yes, yeah.
And so are we going to say, let's share the load? You know, maybe a third of it goes Villa Park Road, a third goes Hughes, and a third goes Jamboree?
To the extent that we have a plan, there has to be a traffic plan submitted to us, and we got to know what they're doing and when. But yeah, we want to be involved in the front of those discussions as opposed to the rear, as we were, and thankfully you and the mayor were able to attend, at least try and get us, you know, at least a voice heard. But I think our lesson learned is we're going to be a lot more proactive, because we didn't even know about that, candidly, and it was brought to our attention on the 11th hour, almost, sort of, so to speak.
And you and Todd got on it quick and did a great job, so thank you very
Yeah,
much.
well, I think it's, you know, one of the things is we do need the continued cooperation of Orange, because this is an Orange deal again, and they need to let us know a little bit more, a lot more about what's going on, and I hope that message is clear, and I believe that several of you have spoken to the members over there, and I've heard from them saying that, I hear your council's not happy, and I said, no, and none of us are happy, and the residents are probably going to speak up as well. So I think that that's a bigger project. And then there's development over in East Orange. There's even more homes that are going in over there. So this is not by far, there's a lot more going to happen down the road. Now, again, our hope would be that Jamboree, et cetera, might be, you know, and the toll road might be another option for them. And we're hoping that they can, you know, because it's further not Orange, it might make more sense anyway, because you're not traveling, you know, it's a faster route. But I doubt the Cannon will ever be used because of the grade, getting a big truck up there, et cetera, and you know, they're just not going to bring those kinds of hauler up Cannon. So they're going to have to do something otherwise, and I'm hoping that we can get them to go either south or east. That would be my goal. At least a large percentage of it, to the extent that we have the ability. And Todd and I've already had some little bit of discussions of what we can or can't do with respect to control of our public roads.
Mayor Pro Tem, to your, one of your questions, about 10 years ago, there was a proposed project, I think it was by Chandler or something or whatever. Does that make sense? Yeah.
The trails at Sonego Trails or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I forget it was, but to your question of, we did require percent, okay, only so many trucks this way, only so many trucks. So that will be something on the table we attempt to effectuate.
Yeah, I believe Councilwoman Miles was in on those discussions when we had those discussions. It was Chandler and the trails. Ultimately, that was voted down by referendum, that development. But at the time, we did have a discussion. I don't remember, maybe Councilwoman, you remember the exact percentages, but there was a discussion about some had to go a certain percentage, and they had to show us logs of where traffic was coming from, as I recall. That was in negotiated deal with them. Now, you know, we got to know what's coming before we can negotiate it. That's the key here.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
So regarding item, the 296, the street projects, when can residents expect that these will be implemented? And I also have a question on we paid $9,000 roughly for an investigation and a core to be done on Valley. So.
Right. So they're in the midst of the design right now. We're getting those designed. They're doing all the parameters. So we would be expecting to go out to bid later this spring for the actual work to be done. So the coring is part of the design, because when they got to figure out, you know, what do they have to do on that portion of it's Valley.
And that was part of this current street
Yes.
maintenance
Yes.
project? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then we have the other ones down on the flats where Bill Underwood lives, and they're going to.
Yeah, there's the whole street projects is something that we went and came to the council, and those streets were approved. So those projects are all part of the design as we are at this point. So once the design's complete, we'll go out to bid. So I would expect that probably, a lot depends on how fast the bids and what the bids come back at, obviously. But you should be seeing a bid process later this spring with the design work right now. They're in the midst of the design right now. We've had discussions and meetings with them. So
Just
that
looking for the
coring
update.
is actually going on right now as part of the discussions.
Any other question? Okay. Now it's time for council members' meeting attendance reports, starting with Law Enforcement Advisory.
No meeting.
Okay, next is Villa Park Community Services Foundation.
All right. Well, this Saturday, 11 to 1 is the Lunar New Year, but I'm going to let our mayor talk more about that when he speaks. We did meet January 30th about the 250th anniversary. Obviously, this is it. This is the year. The Declaration of Independence was signed back on July 4th, 250 years ago, so we're celebrating. And we have all the bunting. There's going to be bunting that's going to go up all over town. We have a few. I'm going to let, when Councilwoman Jones gets to report about the flags, because that was her great idea. And we're really going to do an awesome job with the July 4th. We're going to have a concert involved with the July 4th parade. And we went and checked out a band that has several Villa Park residents involved with the band on February 7th at the Harp Inn, and they were terrific. So things are happening, and stay tuned for more. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next, OUSD.
No meeting?
Great. Next up, Bridges.
No meeting.
Next up, OCFA.
Okay, on January 29th, I had lunch with our division chief, Mike Morgenstern, and our mayor, Jordan Wu. And it was really a chance to get to know our new chief and understand where he's coming from and talk about exciting things happening with our own Fire Station 23. It's my predecessor, Vince Rossini, had gotten it budgeted to remodel Station 23, and now it's been upgraded to actually do a full rebuild. Because they're going to utilize that site as a secondary site for the Emergency Communication Center. In other words, when you call 911 dispatch to OCFA, it goes to their main headquarters there at Jamboree and Fire Authority Road. But God forbid if for some reason it was a power outage or some other issue where that facility wasn't able to meet the needs of 911 dispatch, it would automatically go over to the Station 23 site. So that's pretty exciting that's going to be right here in good old Villa Park. In addition, on February 10th, we had our Operations Committee meeting, and I was elected chair of that committee. We went over the different real estate issues that we have in the county that we discovered with Fire Station 23. And they're discovering they're having the same issue with other stations. And we went over several different issues with the Operations Committee, and I was also added with our new leadership to the Human Resources Committee, and I'll have my first meeting with that next month. And that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Next up, Orange County Library Advisory Board.
No meeting?
Friends of Villa Park Library.
We had a meeting on the 5th, and it was unfortunately good and bad. Everything's going great at the library, but we are so sad that Christina's retiring. And we had a great retirement party for Christina here at the City Hall, and the Friends of the Library really stepped up, and it was well catered with Bill Baker's meatballs and the rest, and so we'll miss her dearly, but yeah.
Thank you. The next up, the Vector Control.
So I attended my first board meeting as a trustee last week and was sworn in. As a tradition, the new trustees are hosted early before the board meeting, and we get to meet the inspectors in charge of our communities. I had an excellent discussion with Leslie Saba, who is our inspector, and she educated me that because we don't have a lot of public spaces or parks in Villa Park, and we're mostly private property, they don't have a lot of routine inspections for our community. They encourage us that as homeowners that we inspect our own properties, although they do have a service to allow us to come, because mosquitoes generally don't fly that far, and so you need to be very diligent about standing water in your own household, et cetera. And they can breed in as little as 1 inch of water, so often people overlook planted pots that have a retaining dish, et cetera. and all of that needs to be treated. Bill Baker had a problem in his yard, and they immediately responded, so they done well. After that, before we started the meeting, Councilman Miles was given a service award along with the other trustees, and obviously she's got a long history of service and has done very well for that. I was installed on the Finance and Budget Committee by Laura Young, and it will be funding the new construction of the 4 buildings that they have. They're going to restore and rebuild them. So they were very pleased that my company, my personal company, had done several large projects with a contractor that's expected to be awarded the project and know some of their principles. So overall, I was warmly received by the staff and other trustees. Basically, I'm take my responsibilities very seriously and will work hard to represent the city of Villa Park on this countywide district protecting our health and welfare. So that's pretty much as I'll say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up, Orange County Older Adults Advisory.
Thank you. So we met Friday, February 13th, and in the feeder this past week, I don't care, whatever you decide. Whatever she puts up. So there's several flyers that we're trying to push out and events. This first one is the OCVMFC, which is Orange County Veterans and Military Families Collaborative. And they're holding a meeting March 5th, 2026 at the Tierney Center for Veteran Services. And this is something that, we have a lot of veterans in our city, and you don't have to live in Tustin. You can join or go listen. Michelle Aguirre is going to be there. Also, a lot of county information on the services that are offered for our veterans. So wanted to make sure that our residents know that that's coming up March 5th. It's going to go another week in our feeder, right? Yeah. So it'll come out again this week, and you just register with the QR code. And then the next one is the Council on Aging. And so again, it's all about trying to make sure that our residents know about all the different opportunities and support services that are out there. And so Council on Aging programs, this flyer is just more of an information of where you can go to the website. And these are some of the different subjects that are available or opportunities to learn about stuff. And then I didn't ask you to put it in, and I probably should have, but it's in the feeder too. It's the other one that talks about the same-day solutions fair. I didn't ask. I said no, and then I realized I probably should have, so that was my fault. But it's still in the feeder, and so it'll go again. And it's the same-day solutions fair, and this is Path to Progress. And this is really very unique. It's put on by the different service providers and county offices, and it's kind of like a one-stop shop for anybody that from enrolling in public assistance benefits like CalFresh or Medi-Cal, or getting information on it. It's also going to link behavioral health services, community health clinics, health assessments, any community-based referral programs, any access or information for shelters. You can receive potential child support, debt relief, copies of vital records, which is really important because a lot of times the barriers are people don't know how to access, like they need their birth certificate or they need a marriage certificate or they need something. And also resolving any kind of warrants or any kind of outstanding issues. So there'll be attorneys that are going to be present that can help guide you. So it's a really great opportunity for anybody, or if you know anybody that always says like, gosh, I need to go to the DMV, but I just don't want to. They're all there that day. And that is going to be at 849 Bradford Avenue in Placentia, and that's located at Placentia Presbyterian Church on Thursday, this Thursday, February 26th. So Maybe we can push that one out a little early since it's Friday's usually when it goes out. But that's something that the county offers, and it's really a one-stop shop, which is really great. And then we're almost done, or we're pretty much done with the 2 resource guides that were part of the Master Plan on Aging. One is the resource guide for the caregivers, and then the counterpart is the resource guide for older adults. That should be, the link should be live and available probably around March 6th to March 8th, so that will get pushed out to everybody. Orange County is home to the ones that we know of, about 780,000 older adults, and we are 3rd in the state as far as counties that go, ranking on how many older adults. So we have a very high population. First is LA County with 2.2, and then San Diego is 3rd, I believe. And so the Office on Aging has done a lot of work on the website. The Orange County Older Adults Advisory Commission has been really partnering well with the Office on Aging. And a lot of times people say, well, I don't know what I qualify for. So there's a website called Benefits, plural, benefitscheckup.org. And so you can go on there, and it helps kind of walk you through to see what you're eligible for. Because some of these programs are absolutely free, but some of these are limited and dependent upon your income. And then the last thing is the county is asking for input on their budget. So there's a survey for the Budget and Finance Office, and I think that was also in our flyer or in our feeder, and they would love anybody's input on the budget. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. The last item is OC San. That save time, I'll just mention about what's going on with the construction on Taft. It is at the final paving along the Taft Avenue final paving along Taft Avenue between Gazelle Street and Tustin Street is now complete. Striping is scheduled for the first week of February. Night work is currently taking place at the intersection of Tustin Street and East Taft Avenue, where crews are installing new pipes. Crews continue to work both day and night along the project alignments to maintain safe and efficient progress. They are pretty much almost there, so just be patient. Their projection time is in the fall of this year, so it will be complete. So now we will hear individual council members' informations, items, or announcements. Let's start with Council Member Miles.
Thank you. So I've done, as we all do, a ton of stuff. Mike's retirement, which is was fantastic to see the community support him, and seems like he stayed the whole time, which is nice because I think we were worried he wasn't going to stay. But it was really nice to see how everybody embraced him, and really appreciate staff putting that on. And I know there was other partners that put that on. I'm not sure who, but thank you to all those. And then instead of going through all my list of stuff, I really want to focus on February is National Cancer Prevention Month. So really getting out there to make sure you do your screening. And then March is 2 things. One is Cancer Awareness Month, and it can cover all sorts of cancers, along with it's also Women's History Month. And so Women's History Month is very important to me, especially. So I don't think I ever told you guys, but I was put on the Orange County Status of Women and Girls Committee, which was kind of reinvigorated by Chairman Doug Chafee. And so I'm the chair of that. And we have our first annual report that we did that is going to be presented at the Board of Supervisors meeting on March 10th. And then also the committee is going to be recognized by the Board of Supervisors. And the report that we did, which is pretty comprehensive, every city is going to get one, and it kind of goes through the status of women and girls in Orange County. And so we'll have a couple copies here at the City Hall, and then also the electronic version. So if anybody is interested, please let myself or staff know, and we can always forward that on. But Really looking forward to hopefully attending on Sunday. I know we have the Little League opening day, but then also I have a personal event that I need to be at, and then hopefully I can stop by for the New Year. So with that, oh, and yay, America with the Olympics, so happy. I'm now a curling fanatic, and told my husband he needs to get me an ice rink somewhere. So that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Council Member McBride?
An administrative meeting, and the budget process is well underway. That concludes this summer. Everything's going great. Like you've already mentioned, they're getting the street paved over there on Taft. I think everybody will welcome that. I also attended with Frackleton the foundation board meeting and saw the new signs, and I'm loving life. I think that's going to be really a fun addition for our community. I went to the Mike Knowles retirement party, and wow, what an icon, and bragged about distributing his little orange Knowles Park pins all over Japan. So he's a we had a great time. Rotary Club is, I encourage people to get involved. It's another great community organization. We do meet early in the morning, but Catherine and I will be hosting the fireside chat for new members coming up. And then the last item is that we do Gourmet Club for the VP Women's League. We've been going for several years now, and we were finally given the main dish. So we got to cook the main dish, after working our way through appetizers and salads and things. So a lot of fun and great community we have.
Thank you. And Councilmember Jones?
Great. So I'll give a report on our USA 250 activities. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen the small flags that we have put up on the street signs around the community. And these are just prototypes right now. We want to see how the flags fare in the wind and the weather, because we've tried a couple different prototypes so far, and I really want to thank Mayor Pro Tem Frackleton and Mark Kulai for indulging me and going through this process and trying to figure out how to make this work, because we were looking for a commercial product and we couldn't really find anything that really captured what we wanted to do. So these will only be mounted on street signs. They will not be mounted on any traffic sign. We cannot interfere with any traffic sign like a speed limit sign or a stop sign. So just look for these on street signs. We will be placing a couple more around the community, again, just to see how they fare, but look for our big rollout probably around the beginning of April. Is what we're planning for right now. And then in addition, you're going to also see some painted fire hydrants. So thank you to Catherine McBride and Cecile White from the Villa Park Women's League, who have been heading up this endeavor. And we have several artists from the Villa Park Women's League that will be painting 6 hydrants around town. And I would really like to emphasize for any residents watching that this is a collaborative agreement and effort between the City of Villa Park, Serrano Water District, and the Villa Park Women's League. We cannot have residents, unfortunately, paint the hydrants in front of their homes. We received special permission from Serrano Water District to paint these particular hydrants. We may be able to expand the program, and so if you are interested in having your hydrant, that's by your home painted, please let me know. But right now, we only have permission for a certain number of hydrants. We will go ahead and do those, and then Serrano Water will evaluate and see whether or not we are going to be granted permission to do more. But I don't want anyone getting out there with a bucket of paint and thinking it's okay, because this was a whole endeavor, and we secured special permission for this. So, and then also this month, I was very happy to attend Mike Knowles' retirement party and Christina Jones's retirement party. This is going to be a tremendous loss for our community to lose both of those great individuals. So they have big shoes to fill, but we're wishing them the very best in the future. And then I would also like to thank Mayor Wu for hosting a wonderful luncheon for the City Council and city staff in honor of Lunar New Year. The food was amazing, and Mayor Wu gave us information on different Lunar New Year traditions and gave us the meanings behind many of the dishes that he served to us. And so it was a really great event, and it was really great to enjoy the lunch with our city manager and city staff as well. So thank you very much for that. And that concludes my report.
Fantastic. Mayor Pro Tem?
I'm all good.
I need to make it quick then. I also attended Mike Knowles' retirement, Christina's retirement, Be Like Mike. I attended the 20th French wedding at Villa Park High School. That is always a fun event. Of course, the best part, in my opinion, is the crepes. I just enjoy eating, and also Council Member Jones already mentioned about Lunar New Year celebration with the city staff. Again, I enjoy food, so I brought food. But this Saturday, we will celebrate Lunar New Year's, Chinese New Year with Tet, right in front of this doorway, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. There will be students performing the lion dance that you just saw, and also their new addition fan dance. We will also add musician playing Chinese zither, Z-I-T-H-E-R. You put the Z and the T-H all together, my tongue just doesn't twist properly. But I'm getting better with L though. Anyhow, big congrats to our local coffee place, Coffee Grove. This Friday, if you're available at 11 o'clock, the Senator Choi, State Senator Choi will recognize Coffee Grove as an outstanding small business in our city. And that is this Friday, 11 o'clock. So if you're available, stop by and congratulate the owner, Jerry Jordan. And that is all for me. And now we will adjourn until the next regular city council meeting on March 24th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. And thank you for participating, and have a good evening and a happy new year to all who celebrate the Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year.